And I'm going to clap. Yeah. Woo! It's the weekend. How excited is everybody? Are you guys excited?
I am
excited. Yeah. Yep.
I'm totally stoked.
I am too.
I have to say, you all should feel really left out because that was probably one of the most fun green rooms like ever because we've got Larry. Look at him. He was just patting his forehead a little bit ago because we were getting him all kinds of wound up.
Yeah, these ladies have me smoking over here.
And then I popped the champagne in the green room.
Oh yeah, that was a great way to start a Saturday morning, Mia.
Champagne
should be a new thing.
It's summertime.
And let me tell you something. Who else jumped into it was Debi Davis, because then you just were like, all right, fine. You're going to get your booze on too.
As soon as she popped that cork, I ran down to the refrigerator and I got mine.
It was like Pavlov's dogs. Instead of a bell, it was a champagne. Well, we're going to, of course, this is the weekend edition. My name is Mia Voss. I've got 3 amazing guests today. We're going to go through them real quick, and then they're going to chat each. I'm going to start with the boy, Larry Fournillier. Welcome to the show, dear.
Hey, thank you again, Mia. My pleasure.
Always fun in your world.
Love to be here. Lovely ladies, right in the middle.
I love it. I know it. Yeah, smack dab. It's a Larry sandwich.
Yep.
And where are you out of?
I'm out of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, and that's why it's always summer and Larry's.
It's always summer here, always summer. 365 days of summer.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it. And then I've got Miss Heather. This is her first time on my show. I'm really excited about that. And guess what? She's crafty. That was one of my first times I really got to know Heather. Is all I could think was that Beastie Boys song. She's crafty.
I know, and then I showed the words to my kids. That was a bad move.
Oh, that was not a good. No.
That was a bad. I forgot. I actually forgot what the words were.
It's not a real complimentary song, but I love it, and we're making it complimentary because you are crafty. And
yeah, I've lassoed that hashtag for sure. So thank you very much for that, Mia. I appreciate it.
Yes, and where are you out of?
I am in Butte, Montana. It's beautiful in Butte, Montana.
And yours is probably like where I'm at, and Debbie as well. It's sunny there a lot, yes?
You know what it seems like right now? We're having like July, August weather. Is that how you guys are feeling? Like last week it was winter, and now all of a sudden it's July and August. We skipped May and June for some reason. I don't know what happened, but
I'm fairly sure that Mother Nature is just turning menopausal for all of us.
That's what it seems. I've been in a state of menopause for quite a while in this Montana. Yep.
No blanket, jacket, no. So, I'm with you. And then I have Miss Debi Davis, who's been my sidekick lately. I've been your sidekick. Welcome to
It has been a blast. Hi, thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I got 2 live hits of Debi Davis. I got 2 hits off the Debi Davis DePong, no pun intended, because it is Colorado. But I got 2 IRLs in real life with Debbie. Last week we met up at Chautauqua Park. If you guys didn't see the pictures, Mary Ionetti, and what was our other folks that joined us too?
We had Sandra Watson and her husband Leland Watson were there. We had Laura Gibbs and Martha Brown
And
Tom Collins came. I mean, it was great. Yeah, it was great. Colorado people, and we enjoyed what a gorgeous site that was. Oh, just at the foot of the Flatirons in Boulder, Colorado.
If you don't think Colorado's that pretty, it really is that pretty. It's amazing. And I have to encourage people, if you really can get it going with an in real life of folks you've met on Google+, it's like nothing you've ever seen. It just feels like you already know them, but now they have legs.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about it. So
I have to agree. I love Denver. I was there last year, and we were talking about that in the green room, and I had a chance to go to Boulder. Beautiful town. Beautiful town.
I will say I appreciate that, but I'm really sad that I didn't know you then. Because can you?
I know. Well, don't worry. Don't worry.
Coming back.
Coming back.
Bring it on. Boop.
Coming back.
Bring it on back. I'm telling you. All right, now let's jump into the backpack, and I'm going to start with a comment was made in the green room right before we started, which was. What did you say, Heather?
Oh, I have to shout out to Michael Daniels because you know he says something about you not even knowing who he is.
Ooh.
What, please? What makes you think that? What's wrong with you? And I was like, oh, I'm going to dog shame Michael Daniels. I know who you are because you're funny. Don't think I don't recognize funny. So there you go. Like that, I was like, what does he say that for? So I'm going to throw in some comments. So yes, our first shout out is from Michael Daniels, and I know who you are. I know you. Yeah. All right, I'm going to start with a few of these because I asked some people in the backpack, and I'd like to continue to do this. If you don't mind posting pictures that are, reasonable of summer plans or summers past and what you're going to do this summer, because that's what we're talking about. So first up, we've got Tyrone Webb. I just want to paint for a living. I have my 40th birthday tomorrow, and I can't think of a worse way to have a midlife crisis. Oh, dude, listen, try 49. There you go. It actually gets better, I think, personally. Andrew says front row seating is available in the user-to-user live, so go check that out. Thank you so much. Christopher Vogelmanne, looking forward to Larry and the lady.
Yeah.
Larry and the lady.
Absolutely. Our girl Lori is in the audience, excited about this one because she thinks Larry is awesome, and I think she's right.
Thank you, Larry.
Yes, Jason Frasca says he's loving the Mickey Man. He's got to get one of his own, and I'm going to have to certainly agree with you. Because these things make me so happy. I mean, this side it's Mickey, this side it's Hamburger Helper, right? Looks like Larry's got a comment. Sunny here in D.C. today. Lovely. Ooh, that is nice weather. I like that. Yeah. Oh, here's our girl Mary from last week. Awesome HIRL outdoors. Yes. Oh, by the way, she is one badass chick, isn't she? She's one fit girl. I love her.
She makes you feel like you need to go home and diet and exercise. You look at her and she's buff.
Who's that? I like her, right? Because Mary Ionetti.
Who's buff?
Mary. She's a little badass, and I dig that about her. Now, here's one of my new favorite people. This is Whit Burney. I believe he's in French Polynesia. He says, "I'll be up at dawn and company figuring out the connection that will let us watch live. Otherwise, it's replay." He likes that nickname, David Schifrin, from the far corner. So go check him out. He's got some really cool artwork and photos that he's done for sure. So, yeah, we got some French Polynesia in the house. One more from Express Media. See you that Bat Crap Crazy Saturday. Then Miss Lady Mia Voss. Thank you so much, Espresso Media. Anybody else? Got some new comments?
Well, I can't pull it up, but Larry, this one's for you. Michael has been watching you for years. He missed the Pirates Pub. He also has enjoyed many long nights chatting with the folks on Fridays from around the world. I'm going to talk about my Bat Crap Crazy at the end, though. So.
Yeah. The Pirates Pub. We were going to bring that back. Soon.
Warm that bad boy up. What's Debbie got here? Oh, hey, Scott Scowcroft watching the Media Connect. Is that the Business Hangouts? My first time, great fun. That's not his first time here. That's his first time through the Business Hangouts. Very cool. Listen, there's a lot of cool ways to watch this, right, guys?
That's right.
Yeah. Amen. What else we got? Any other ones? I've got Tom Coleman. Oh, that was from Food and Booze yesterday, Brother Tom. And today's just booze, right, guys?
Just booze.
Yeah, just
today's booze. I had some food prepared also.
You share the food. That would be great.
Food too.
I had Wayne Nix, my buddy.
Brother. Oh, Nazim. How much do we love Wayne's accent, by the way? That just makes my day.
I love it.
Yeah, I like to listen to him.
I do too. This is Clinkies to Nazim. We are going to get out to Italy, my brother. It is 6 o'clock in his world, and he is drinking and not feeling guilty.
Nice.
Okay, for those of you wondering what I'm drinking, this is a Larryjito.
Yes.
And the recipe will be posted in the chat.
I love it.
On the commentary in the.
Exactly. Thank you so much for that. So, guys, as you know, the theme today, I mean, it's Memorial Day here in the States. Unofficial start to summer. I don't think summer is till next month on the 21st of June, but it certainly doesn't feel like that for most of us. So I thought it would be a good idea to get some of my favorite people here. We're going to talk about a lot of different ways to enjoy summer, get the most out of it, and relax. So, Larry, do you want to start with the food and the booze, honey? I mean, that's everything's about barbecues and drinking and relaxing. So let's start with you, dear. Let's get that going.
Well, to keep the drinks flowing, this is, like I said, a Larryjito, which is my own concoction from a mojito, which is a Cuban drink that originated in Cuba. And essentially it's rum, mint. I use some lemongrass tea made from fresh lemongrass that I grow here in my garden. As well as you put some mint.
That's what that is. Oh,
yeah. Mint and
Yeah.
now traditionally you use lime, but I use sour orange, which is I have a sour orange tree growing in my yard too. So use sour orange, the mint, the lemongrass, the rum, sugar, and
garlic.
Larryjito. Oh, and pepper. Pepper, most important. Pepper.
Pepper. That's what makes the Larryjito, by the way.
Scotch bonnet pepper. A little bit.
Oh, man. Yeah. So let's talk about that, too, which we had this on my show from a couple weeks ago when you were on. We were talking about health and food. And, you know, I love the importance of taking advantage of what's grown locally and what's in your neighborhood. So for you, of course, it just sounds like such a cool place to be. Like Larry's got crazy plants growing in the back and all that. So let's talk about that, about, you know, accessing plants, going local, and taking advantage of that for food.
Yeah, well, like I said, down here it's 365 days of sunshine. We have some rain thrown in for the plants and vegetables to grow. I do have some fruit and some vegetables that I grow here locally in my yard. I also raise chickens. So I get the eggs and the meat from them.
Oh, man, who's jealous?
But most of my vegetables come from my cousin, who is a farmer, and he lives up in the hills, which is about maybe 5 clicks up that way. Sure. And he plants like tomatoes and melangin, which you call eggplant. Green peppers, lettuce. So he brings those things down to me here on his way to market. So I get my supply once a week or sometimes twice a week. Sometimes he brings so much I have to give it away to my neighbors. But it's like that. That's how I knew growing up here in Trinidad that we had to. That's how we survived. You know,
right?
We didn't have much money, and everybody kind of grew their own thing. And who had relatives who were farmers basically got that food stuff from them. So that tradition sort of kept on. And when I came back to Trinidad, it was like just falling back into place.
I think it's funny, too, because it's kind of what, in some places, it's sort of what people who have more money are doing now, because it's like, you know, it's more where they're going more local, they're buying more organic, and, like, that's how you grew up, though. That was the lifestyle. Like,
yeah,
that's for us. We had a garden. My grandparents had a garden, that type of thing. It wasn't necessarily cool back then. That's what we did.
It's only when only when I went to the U.S., when I emigrated to the U.S., that, you know, it was a whole culture shift because you had to adapt to the U.S. culture. And, you know, Maryland, you know, Baltimore, you really can't grow anything because you have your seasons. So that was a big adjustment for my family. But after coming, well, they only spend 23 or 24 years there, then they moved to Florida, which is closer to Trinidad as far as weather-wise. So down there we were able to, well, they moved down, they being my parents, and then I left Maryland, and then I went to Florida, and then came back to Trinidad.
Right, and so so you went back to the roots that you could. Just a real quick comment. My brother Mike Alton is in the house, and he really wants a Larryjito. I think we all do.
I will post the recipe. I'll definitely post the recipe.
Oh, I thought I had photos on. Well, watch this, brother. I'm gonna fix photos real quick. I'm gonna get you all kinds of wound up and get your clean photos. Yes, can add photos. There it goes. Thank you, Debbie, for that. Hey, ladies, jump in about what you're doing food and, well, you know, not necessarily booze-wise, but food-wise and everything for the summer. What are your favorite things to do? Because I'm loving the farmers markets, of course, and I'm probably going to do a food and booze from one of the local farmers markets here.
We have great farmers markets around.
Comment on Debbie. Sorry, honey.
Oh, sorry. I'm still.
We just love Michael Mason that much. And
yeah, we do. We do have great farmers markets here in Colorado. I've got 2 of them that are bike riding distance from me. So I look like a real Coloradan. I get my little backpack and my panniers, and I can go to the one on the south end of town or the one on the east end of town and load up. And last year I had a great vegetable garden, but I'm not going to be able to do that this year because I've got some travel planned. Right. So I will definitely be hitting the farmers markets in Colorado.
Which ones are you talking about? Because there's a lot of Coloradans on the watching today.
There's the one that they have in the parking lot over at the Cherry Creek Mall.
Oh, that's amazing.
That one is, and you don't want to drive over to it because parking is impossible. So take your bike. Mm-hmm. And then there's the one at Belmar, which is south of me. The new, well, I say the new Belmar Mall, but it's been there probably for 6 years now. Mm-hmm. But they put together a pretty nice farmers market, and it's just, it's like a party. You go over there and they're serving drinks and coffee and all kinds of music and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so it's great.
And now, everybody, I would love for have you guys in the backpack also comment what some of your favorite farmers markets are too. I mean, talk about, I'm so backpack crazy about community and connecting things. So talk about like people who've got really cool vendors, shops, any kind of food that they're growing or product, and then they all get connected together. So I love it. How about you, Heather?
I don't grow a thing, so I encourage other people who do to share their valuable talent with those of us who don't. So that's why I frequent the farmers market, because I just can't. So I go to the farmers market and take advantage.
Right? That's me. I'm here to buy and eat.
Yeah. Hey, somebody's got to do it, or else they're just growing and selling for nobody.
Oh, absolutely. No, I think that's the best way. So do you have some great farmers markets up there? What's the produce like in Montana?
Oh, produce is terrible in Montana most of the time, but farmers market, we get people come from different areas, and then they set up booths, and we get things from over the hill, because we've got the Rocky Mountain on this side of me, and over on that side it's it's Montana. The name Montana. What does it mean? So we've got mountains everywhere, and it's hard to grow in the snow. I will say.
Right, because it's winter a lot more. We've got some great photos that are popping up too. Let me throw in a few more comments. This is from Kim. Her summer plans: living each moment like it's the last, and yes, it involves cocktails.
Beautiful, Kim. I love it.
Pretty sure we need to hang out with Kim Boultman.
Exactly.
He's in food, Larry. Yeah.
I just want to give a quick shout out. Roxanne Davenport, her daughter visited Trinidad last summer for 2 weeks. I hope she had a great time.
I hope she enjoyed it too. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. What was your question? I'm sorry.
Oh, food.
Oh yeah, food.
Well, items like you like for summer.
Summer is every day. So I just went to the market this morning and I picked up some fresh chicken, because the ones I have here are too small to be slaughtered. And so I picked up some fresh chicken, and of course I have my vegetables from my cousin that he dropped off yesterday. So I'll be baking some chicken later on. But even though we have summer all year round, we find a lot of people down here like to drink soup on a Saturday, believe it or not.
Gotcha.
Which is comprised of fresh vegetables like potatoes, carrots, celery, split peas, and dumplings. You roll some flour and water, make a little dumpling, and just drop it in the pot. And that's a staple for people on a Saturday. Also, on a Sunday, we have something called kalaloo, no? Well, not cuckoo, kalaloo. Kalaloo is, again, made with fresh vegetables. You could use kale, you could use spinach, you could use taro leaf, which is what we have growing wild down here, taro. So taro leaf, okra, pumpkin. We have pumpkin all year round down here, but if you don't, you could use butternut squash in the summertime.
We love that.
Coconut milk, onions, carrots. No, not the carrots. Onions and garlic.
And you added that coconut milk. Oh.
And yeah, I had that coconut milk. And actually, I had a private hangout with Tracy Baker, and she made it last about 2 Thursdays ago. She just called me. She wanted to make it, and we just had a private little hangout. And she made it, and she took it to her potluck dinner club,
right.
And it was a hit.
I love what Crystal Vogelmanne says. Christopher says, "Good to be a small chicken at Larry's house."
Yeah, you will survive.
It is the safe chicken zone.
Here's a funny comment from Sheffy about Montana. Are they raising dental floss in Montana? Like that?
I get that all the time. I don't know the song even.
Oh, here's a good comment from Kirstin Hancock. She says this year she has planted a veggie garden inspired by Wayne here on Google+. It's so satisfying. I actually was asking Wayne to come on, but I think is he at NASCAR this weekend? I think Wayne Metter is, yeah. So shout out to Wayne Metter, because I don't know if you guys are not following him on YouTube. Talk about getting some great ways to grow things, and then, you know, unique ways, compost. He loves worms. He's big on worms, you know. So.
You know what? I had pinned that exact same comment from Kirstin, because Wayne has had an impact, and I am so sad that I won't be able to do a garden this year. But I connected with Wayne because he loves worms, and so this year I'm really working on enriching my soil and watching for those big fat juicy worms, because I know next year it'll be really good. But yeah, so I can't have a garden this year, but I'm following Wayne and I'm learning how to make it perfect for next year. He's quite an inspiration. I love him.
Wait a minute. So Debbie, is that a strategy?
You know what, Heather? Honest to God, when you know, we got to talking about you know, planning your summer, and a lot of what I do for planning this summer, I look back at my last summer. And I looked at how many hours I spent putting my garden together and weeding and staking and all that kind of stuff. I put in an immense amount of time last year, and I know that this year I simply cannot do it. I've got just enough travel spaced out that my garden would just, you know, go to weeds. So I can't do it. So I look back at what I've done in the past to help me plan for the future, and yes, it's all about strategy.
Which, and I mean, we should take that out of context when she says, and I really want to connect with Wayne because he loves worms. Like,
I was thinking soundbite myself.
There's random strategies, and there's big juicy worms, so you have to laugh at that. Hey guys, if you could go over to the event and take a look at the picture that Michael Mason just posted, it's a little shout out too.
Okay.
So please go look, because he's apparently I need to go over to the Canary Islands as well, and we can have.
Oh yeah.
That would be perfect. So, or, you know, Debbie, the other thing that you could do is start the garden. And big here in Colorado is rabbits and squirrels eat everything. So you would just be real popular with the wildlife.
You know what? And yeah, I want to be popular with somebody, so I might as well be popular with the squirrels.
You look like Cinderella. I love it. So, anything else you guys have? I mean, I know for myself, one of my favorite summertime things, and I first got introduced to it when I moved to New York, actually, because I lived in the Midwest. I grew up in Illinois, and tons of veggies. I mean, I remember sitting with my grandfather in the garden and just, you know, wiping dirt off the tomato and eating it like it was an apple. Like, that's how we rolled back then. I loved the fresh veggies. But when I moved to the East Coast is when I learned that fun flavor of things like fresh basil and fresh mozzarella. So that was one of my first great things that I ate the first time I was there, was the fresh mozzarella with the fresh tomato and the basil on top of it and the drizzle of olive oil. That's one of my favorite summertime things.
And you know what, Mia? I was watching a replay of one of your Food and Booze here recently, and they were talking about, I think it might have been at Jake's, and they were talking about how they grow the mint or one of the herbs.
A lot of the smaller herbs on their back patio.
Right in the middle of an industrial area, and that is something that you know, you can do. And I live in a patio home, so you know, having herbs, I do cilantro and chives and 2 different kinds of parsley, because that's something I can take with me. If I'm going to be, you know, going to do a house sitting gig up in the mountains, I can just take my whole herb bin with me and keep that going. Yeah, so that's, yeah.
How funny would that be if Debbie got pulled over?
Herbs, yeah, herbs in Colorado. Hey, it's legal, right?
It doesn't matter in Colorado.
I don't know if it's like a certain amount either. Like, she's transporting a giant amount of herbs in the back of her. That is so true, you guys. I mean, that is something we could all do too. Like, just growing it right there in the patio. I am going to do that. I might try composting this summer. We'll see. I don't know. It sounds like dirty work. That's just me. So.
You know what? I got to tell you, I started a compost bin about 2 years ago, and at the time I had a roommate, and she said, I will not go out there and stir the compost because that's going to smell like, you know, crap.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out I will actually stick my head in my compost bin. It smells so fresh and so it smells like earth, you know. It's not rotting, deteriorating food. It's decomposing, but it's what's a better word for it? But it smells so fresh.
It's earthy.
You know what reminds me of that, you guys, is beets. Like beets have that same kind of thing too. Oh, hey, we've got a guest that's going to come in too. Hold up here. I got a drink ready for you. Come on in.
Of course she does.
Shocker, right? Let me see if I can get my clapper on. Hold on a second.
Oh,
Hey, Greg.
There he is.
Look how he matches.
And he gets the tiara.
And he's wearing the tiara.
Yeah, cheers, honey. There you go. I'm saved the back crack crazy glass. So if you guys don't know who this guy is, this is Greg.
Hey, I think we need to call this the Bald Black Man Show.
You forgot to put the word sexy in front.
Sorry.
Exactly. In green shirts. Bald black men in green shirts.
Yeah, bald black.
Oh, that's right. He wants to clarify. He cuts his hair to be like this. Cheers, honey. Everybody clinkies. That's for all of you guys. Thank you so much. Heather, you haven't told us what you're drinking over there, by the way.
Oh, can I make something up? Because it's just so boring.
It actually looks like it might be have a little something to it. So what is it?
Yeah, I always put it in a plastic glass and have a straw, so you think it's just water.
Right. Woo!
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, I think I'm going to bring somebody in here in a second, if you guys don't mind. Hang on one second here. We've got another guest who's going to come in, and then we're going to jump into crafts as well. Heather, are you ready to get a little crafty for us?
Sure, I'll try.
Yeah.
I've never done it before on camera, though, so.
That would be interesting.
What?
That would be interesting, Heather. That's something I've always been interested in. My grandmother used to crochet, and she tried teaching me crocheting, but that was
You're better at cooking, yeah. Just
I'm
stick to
better.
cooking.
So actually the booze is starting to kick in because everything has a double entendre for me right now. And it's probably going to get worse in the next 20 or 32 minutes. So real quick before we segue, you're watching the Mia Connect Power Chat. I'm Mia Voss. This is the weekend edition. I have Larry Fournillier, Heather Kraafter, and Debi Davis. Woo! Right? Woo! Exactly. All right. So we've got another guest that's going to come in, but Heather, let's jump into crafty because what can we do this summer? Oh, and there he is, by the way. I had to get another chef in.
Welcome, Chef. It's now a show.
It's Chefy.
It is Chefy. And if you guys don't know, we are also unofficially known as
Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise.
That's right. Hold on. I can't even remember what that conversation. Oh, and there's Greg giving you your cheers, Chefy. See? Oh, look at now Greg's manhandling his his drinks with it too. Is he frozen? Do we have frozen chef?
Yeah,
frozen chef.
We have to thaw him out. We have to thaw him out.
He's gone.
That's like for those winter meals. Frozen chef. All right, Heather, tell me what I can do this summer that's crafty.
Well, I would tell you that I think the key to just about everything we're even talking about is preparation. So if you know about where you're going to be going or how long you'll be or what you'll be doing while you're there, you can have a little bit of preparation. And I've prepared a couple of things. First, I'll show you, I always take with me markers because markers are portable and they have caps on them and you can take them anywhere you want. So kids love markers, and if you're any kind of an artist at all, you'll love to spend some money on some really good ones. And then you can do some fun stuff with this because I'll just show you real quick.
Greg said black adults also like them.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's great. I love it, Greg.
I got to put the microphone over here now.
So here's something. Let's see. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
That was done with markers.
How fun.
So,
and what is that on, Heather? What kind of paper do we use?
Just watercolor paper. So it's watercolor paper that I bought really inexpensively at, a local craft store. And then I take these markers and a little water brush that I think Debbie's going to have to hold it up for me because I actually lost mine in preparation for this. So see what preparation really can do.
If you can't be prepared, at least somebody that's in your film strip is, right?
That's right. So prepare the film strip. Yep.
What is that, you guys? What kind of pen is that?
It's actually, it has a water reservoir that you actually fill up with water, and it has a cap. So then you basically have a water brush ready to go. And no mess, no fuss. So what I do is I have my markers, and I have that water brush, and of course they're usually in the same room, not in the same film strip, and then baby wipes. And that's my to-go. So I take the paper, I take the markers, and you just have fun. And you know what the other thing is? If you're really, really savvy and you really like to do watercoloring at all, then you can set up your own to-go watercolor. You can buy those ones that they have for the kids, but those colors are just not as pigmented, so you lose some of the fun. Okay, but you can make your own. And I did that here.
How do you do that?
So I bought this really inexpensive, I'm hoping you can see it.
Yeah.
I bought this inexpensive to-go palette.
Right, and like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something, right?
Yep, it's really inexpensive. It comes empty, and then I filled it up with watercolors that come in the tube.
Yeah.
And I've got enough to do this probably for the rest of my life. So I just filled them up and then let them dry. And now with that same water brush to go and a pad of paper, I am now a plein air artist, which means painting outside.
Wow.
So.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, and it's not a day that ends in Y without Christopher Vogelmanne making some kind of crazy comment, so I'm going to pull that up. Bless his heart.
Yes, it is summer fun for kids too. Yes, it is.
I can't take it. That could also be and black adults.
And black adults. I forgot that part, Greg. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, I love it.
Welcome, Chef.
Yeah, and can I just welcome my brother Luis? And did you hear our comment about Frozen Chef?
I did. Yes, I did.
Hey guys, I just want to give a shout out to Sheffy. Thank you for coming on. We all need to send you a big hug and a fist bump for Miss Lucy, who departed last night. This was Sheffy's beloved dog. Am I going to make you cry? Okay.
Probably.
Okay, but you guys give a shout out and send a hug for Sheffy, because we all know how much we love our four-legged kids, right?
Absolutely.
We do. So thank you for coming on, Chef. And
my pleasure.
you need a drink too. I know that I usually do the drinking on food and booze, but you should have a drink too.
Yeah, well, it's a little early. It's 12:30. I'll start drinking later in the day.
Hey, Chef,
way earlier on this side of the mountains, just so you know.
We're 2 hours behind you, so I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, we're drinking.
Yeah, Greg, Debbie, and I are all in mountain time, and we're all getting our booze on. So, and we want to come back to Food Chefy when Heather's done with crafting, because I want to hear what some of your favorite, you know how we love to get our grub on. So, all right, Heather, what other kind of cool stuff can we do? Because that looks so fun.
Well, of course, there's also other portable things like gel-colored sticks. Like these are called gelatos. A company called Faber-Castell. I don't know if you can see that.
Yes.
Faber-Castell creates these. They're like little chapsticks with color.
Mm-hmm.
Although you don't want to put them on your lips. But anyway, what you do with these is you do the same thing. You color, and you can smear it around with your fingers, and you can use the water pen that I found, by the way, and you can do all kinds of fun with them. Just add color to your world. One more thing that you can do, again, preparation is required, is take your pad of watercolor paper and take those same watercolors and just brush them onto the bottom of the paper. Let it dry, and now you have one of those. Do you remember these when we were kids, where you would color the water? You would color like the water. Let me say this right. You take the water brush, and it's wet. It will activate this, and then you can draw on the paper.
The rest of the paper.
And it's all to go, no mess, no fuss. So
this is much cooler than Bob Ross. Although I do love it.
Well, you can still paint happy little trees. So
I know. I love that little guy. That is so fun, though. Hey, we've got some fun. Everybody is loving what you're doing. Mick says, I've got kids that love painting. We'll be watching Heather's stuff more, I think. Well, yeah, you need to.
Yeah, connect with me on the Craft Shack, because we do a weekly show every week. Debbie and I do it together. And we have a good time, don't you think, Debbie? We got a great community.
We get messy is what we do. We get messy, and kids love nothing more than messy. I mean, we don't really focus on kids, but everything we're doing, kids are going to love doing too.
Yep. And adults. I think that's kind of fun, you guys, to start considering that. I like doing something fun. This one, by the way, loves to paint over here. We've got, look at it.
He's looking around. Who might you be speaking to?
Well, we've been to, there's a couple places we have sipping and painting here, so clearly I like to add booze to anything that we do, but he's come, we've done a couple of those fun, painting places where you just come in and they've got the theme of it, and then, did you just give me back the tiara? And then, and go and do the painting, so I'm with you on that, Heather. That's super fun. What else you got, girlfriend? Like car trips, what about that kind of thing?
Well, that's just it. I took that painting that I did right here, this one.
Yeah. You did it in the car with your water.
That was in the car. It's actually a bus ride. My husband's a bus driver, so I was sitting in the little passenger seat over there while he was driving us down the Hobb Road on our way to see. I actually got to meet Sunny Cadwallader on that trip.
Sunny's in the girlfriend. You did. Is she did here? She said she's checking in, but I think she might still be here, checking in briefly to support a wonderful panel. Hey,
you know
girl.
who she is. You know what I have to tell you. She is just as bright and sunny in person as she is all over G+. So I really loved meeting her. That was lots of fun. But yeah, that's what I did on the road trip. And all these things that I'm talking about, you can do sitting in your car or camping, which is what I'll be doing. And I'm actually getting ready to leave today. I'm going to take something called a jelly plate. If you've ever heard of monoprinting. There's a cool thing called a jelly plate, and I'm going to do mono printing with my mom over in Idaho, so I'm going to have some fun.
That's all right. Fun.
I can't imagine Heather going somewhere and not doing something crafty.
No, I don't go anywhere and not do crafts.
Hey, can I ask you real quick on your background on that? Because we all know what you do, but give me a quick story on how you got so interested in being crafty besides your last name.
Well, to be honest with you, I've had a lot of medical issues in my life, so having a 9-to-5 job was just kind of almost impossible. We gave it a try. It caused a whole lot of issues. I'm watching the tiara flip back and forth.
I know, it's a little distracting, isn't it?
And throughout those medical problems, I guess I kind of figured out that I needed something to relax and something to get me through the day, and crafting, painting, being an artist, that all just sort of came about, and then I decided I didn't want to do it alone, so I turned on a camera, and voila, here we are.
Oh, honey, I love it. So, I mean, anybody who's out there is thinking about doing Hangouts, because I have to tell you, it took me a while for us talking, and I know for a while for you to get comfy, and now you're just busting a move, girlfriend.
I didn't even want to be on this show for how long?
I think I've had to romance you for about 6 months.
Oh.
Like,
see, I'm not easy. I want that soundbite. I'm not easy, see? So.
I don't know. I got you on my show pretty quick.
Yeah, that was not right.
You know what? He's really mad about the food. He acts like he's not, but he's mad about all this grub I've been getting, so.
That's right. I had to eat those crackers yesterday. That was it.
He did.
How many PB&Js have you had, Sheffy? That's what I want to know. How many PB&Js?
Well, from the looks of it, one too many or two too many. But I'm promising you, Tuesday is going to be my chance, because we're getting fed on an awful lot of food, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, tell us. Let's segue back to food real quick. We're having I've had 3 here in Denver, and now it's time for you to bust it out in Florida. Tell us about Roux.
Yeah, we're going to Roux, and Roux is looking to be pretty interesting. It's a family that has a couple other restaurants, and they're called Dats is the name of their restaurant in Tampa. And I've been meaning to get to that, and I just don't get over to Tampa, which is part of the problem. So this is going to change it, I do believe. And they have a bakery called Dough, And I find that too, because that sounds like that might be very interesting. Although all I need is more baked goods. And then Roux, of course, is a Cajun Creole-based theme restaurant that they just kind of had an opportunity to open up, and they're going for it. And they've had a soft opening this month, and looks like Greg wants to give me a hand.
Creole,
Hi, brother.
I'm in. I'll be in.
Yeah, you.
I'd love to have you there with me. Actually, they upped the invites to 80 for the day because Isabel Lasik pulled me into that one from Sunday Supper. So they do have a few spots open, and you guys want to fly into Tampa, I'm sure I could get you a frontline seat.
Hey. He's over here on Southwest right now, trying to figure out. So that's going to be fun, guys, and we'll post that link in there too, because I will purposely not eat anything that day and just cry. You know how I get. It ain't pretty. That low blood sugar, it's going to be camera worthy for sure. So
I am not a real. I mean, I am a sloppy eater, so it could get a little embarrassing for me. So.
Listen, who's been sitting and eating like a squirrel and doing happy food dance the last 3 shows? So I'm on that too.
I love the squirrel cakes, I know.
Oh, totally. Oh, I read somewhere that Chef Dennis is co-hosting a Recipes from the Garden HOA next Wednesday. Is that correct?
That is correct. We are doing that. I have a HOA with Isabel and Sunday Supper and American Family Insurance, and we've been running a little kind of promo on Google Plus event where people are posting recipes from the garden, all their different pictures of things, and we have. Last time I checked, we had about 200 of them in there already. So. It's fun. There's so much fresh fruit and veggies available right now that, even I found Florida grows peaches. I had no clue for Florida grew peaches, and they were really good.
Well, you're kind of just below Georgia, so I guess that makes sense, huh?
Yeah.
But Georgia, I can't imagine they must be wonderful down there. Ooh, good, Chefy.
Yeah. They really are. The first ones I found were small and ugly, but then I stopped at the Big Orange for oranges yesterday. And they had Florida peaches too, so I got some of that.
Oh, see, you guys go back and look. Oh, there's so many fun pictures. We've got garden pictures. Mary posted a picture of Greg and I from last week. Thank you, sweetie. Roxanne has her tomato plants up. We've got a lot of people that are loving. Oh, hi, Crystal. I love this gal. And she and her husband are so fun. They don't have a garden, but they do have a compost and feed their worms regularly. That's big on our comments here with the backpack for sure. Everybody's loving that too. So listen, guys, we're going to jump into Debbie because now that we've talked about all the fun stuff that we can do, Debbie, tell us how we can get our you-know-what together and have some time to do this fun stuff with some business strategies. I want to come around on that one because, you know what, all the fun stuff is here, but we still have a lot of stuff we have to do. So help a girl, help a sister and a brother out.
You know what? Heather sort of stole my thunder, and I'd like to think it's because I've trained her up. But then again, I have to say that once she and I started working together, I found out that she's a natural strategist. But planning, and I use this 3-legged model: frame, focus, and follow through. And when I started thinking about, how particularly for summertime, I mean, we want to make sure that we don't miss out on summer, and it does take a plan. And so plan is part of the frame. In the framing part, you're planning, you're preparing, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And, summertime fun is supposed to be relaxing or stress-free. And so I'm glad that Heather brought up the the car rides. There are a couple people, in fact, here that talked about. Here's a comment from Johnny that says, making crafts on a bus ride, that equals production. I mean, that's perfect. Mm-hmm. Dave Moore says that I do a lot of painting while in the car. Luckily, I drive an automatic. I don't recommend that. But it's about getting a lot of things done. But then the stress thing. And so I thought back again when I plan forward. Before I start planning forward, I look back, and I look back at the things that have worked and the things that haven't worked, and that usually informs my plan. Well, one of my favorite vacations, I have a bunch of nieces and nephews, a bunch of sisters and brothers, and we were taking a road trip to Grandma and Grandpa's 3 states away, and we were piling all the kids in the car. Now think about the stress. Just think about it for a second. What kind of stress you might have in a car with 4 preteens, and then 3 adult sisters.
Oh,
We weren't all in the same car. We had 2 cars going, but we were crossing 3 states in the middle of summer, hot.
Yep.
With these kids, you know, and so we had to put together a plan. And the plan, for fun, your plan has to allow for a lot of flexibility. Heather actually helped me with my frame focus follow through model, and she emphasizes, but then there's got to be fluidity, Deb. There's got to be fluidity to allow for spontaneity, and spontaneity and summertime go hand in hand. So the fluidity part was, you know, we packed our sandwiches, we had our sort of a route planned, but then we allowed for fluidity. Our plan was that we would stop wherever one of the kids said, hey, I see a sign for Badlands, I want to stop there. We gave ourselves enough time. You know, the plan was that we would allow for distraction. And that's something that you have to do in summertime. Allow for distraction, because the distraction leads to spontaneity and creativity and all that sort of thing. So our summertime plan actually is planning for distraction, or planning for, I mean, it sounds like an oxymoron, but you can't be spontaneous if you haven't planned and allowed yourself the time to be spontaneous. And so, you know, while summertime is supposed to be fun and footloose and fancy free and all that, plan for the time. Allow yourself the time to be spontaneous. And then one of the other things, you know, talking about stress in summertime is, you know, what are the things that are inevitably going to come up that could cause stress? You know, you could have a car accident, God forbid, you know, if you're on the road, that would be bad. So, you know, have AAA, make sure that, you know, your family knows where you're going to be and when you're going to be there, make sure your phone chart, you know, plan for that. The other thing, again, 3 adult sisters and 4 preteen kids. There were going to be some arguments, okay? So that was going to be one of the things that might slow us down. The other thing was the budget. You know, we were doing this road trip kind of to save money rather than flying and all that kind of stuff. So we had the budget. So what we did was each day we gave the kids a roll of quarters. So they got $10 every day.
We're going on a road trip with Debbie.
They got $10 there, but they were going to use that for if they wanted to do fast food, or they wanted to do souvenirs or any of that kind of stuff. We were going to have to give them money anyway, so we used it. We gave them the $10 at the beginning of the day, and we said, anytime any of you argue, you each hand over a quarter to us. You pay us a quarter for every argument. Or if you know, we had planned all these sandwiches and stuff in our cooler, and they say, well, we want to go to McDonald's or we want to do this, we'll say, that comes out of your $10, so we can do that. We wanted it to be fun and them to make some decisions. But that helped us to, you know, manage any kind of disagreements among the kids. Fortunately, my sisters and I didn't have to pay each other, because there were a few disagreements there too. We didn't figure that into the plan at all, but next time we probably will.
You said you had to pay each other?
We should have. Because, yeah, we would. Although we would have just been handing each other quarters all the time.
Back and forth. Right.
But you know, the kids really, they developed this this awareness of their behavior was going to affect a few things: their budget and the fun that we had, and it cut down on the stuff that goes on with preteens. And you know, the minute I say, Trevor, you give your sister a quarter because you know you're creating a fuss in the back seat there, and so he would, and it became a game.
Yeah.
But you know, so we had plans for the kinds of challenges that could come up during summertime, because we all know. I mean, if you just stop and think a minute, what could go wrong with this vacation? Not to dwell on it, but just plan for it. So anyways, planning is everything, and you can plan to reduce your stress and increase your spontaneity just by thinking ahead a little bit. So I'm all about planning.
The comment tracker is blowing up because everybody's loved this. Now, I will take one of my favorite lines. It's from a movie called The Sure Thing. She says, spontaneity has its time and place. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. That really good 80s movie. But you know, it really is true. And it was such a great thing from last week, Debbie, when we got to go and do our HIRL in Chautauqua. And you and I both got so kind of inspired from that, of like taking this time and making sure we've got time to go do that kind of stuff. Because we all know, like, we can get on Google Plus. I mean, you're always like, what are you doing? Like, I'm still on Google Plus. My bad, right? But I love the idea of just having more time. And if you planned and allotted this time, then you can go, oh, I just heard about this great summer fair that we're going to go to, or a concert, or something like that. And then you got your stuff done, and you can go play.
That's exactly right. And you know what? How much spontaneity do you miss out on because you didn't have your laundry done, or you've got a stack of mail that you need to get through, or you don't feel like you can give in to the spontaneity because you've got these other pressures on you? Get that stuff done. Don't procrastinate. Get it done early. Set it, and then you can be spontaneous, till the cows come home.
Totally.
And that's what I like to do.
I wanted to know how all those quarters affected your gas mileage.
I saw that. You know what? Hey, Jim, you know what? It was just 2 days on the road, so we only had, about 6 pounds of quarters with us on the way there. And then once we got there, we bought more, and we kept those at Grandma and Grandpa's house and doled them out as we went. So, yes. Yeah, it's something to consider, though. Good thinking ahead. Think about that stuff.
So I'm probably going to do in fact, I'm going to, because I promised, you love that. I promised Les Dossie that I would do this, but when we were traveling a couple weeks ago, remember when I had to take a picture of the magazine? So Southwest Magazine, I always love that, and there was this thing called JOMO, and it was an article about the joy of missing out. You know how I'm always getting crazy on flights and writing new stuff down. And, we talk about FOMO, or as Denise Wakeman calls it, MOFO. I was like, no, honey, I think it's FOMO, fear of missing out. JOMO is joy of missing out. And I want that to be this summer when you can just be like, all right, I'm not going to stay attached to, oh, what am I missing out on posts and everything, but going out and doing the stuff that's around. You heard it. You're going to pay attention. Hold me to it, right, this summer? How's that going to go to work?
He doesn't look hopeful.
Yeah, he's like, well, because he knows Mama's going to do what she wants. But I used to be the summer of the JOMO, of joy of missing out, of like, I'm not going to sit here and always be online because I want to go out and do what's going on. So I'm going to add that in there too. That's my little.
Here's the other thing that I want to add to. We do have this addiction to Google Plus, or I do, and I actually worry about.
A big we in there.
I actually worry about it. I mean, in user to user, we talk about this with Andrew Hatchett and Michael Daniels and me and Heather. We'll talk about, oh my gosh, I've just spent 15 hours on Google Plus today. I think I'm addicted. What's saving me is I'm really learning. I'm getting better at my smartphone, the Instagram, and being able to getting on a quick hangout. I feel like I allow myself just a little connection with Google Plus and my online world, just enough to make sure I don't panic while I'm out maybe rock climbing with Maria Iannotti. When we were rock climbing,
you don't feel so.
Is it just me, or is that what a junkie does?
Right.
Well, it is. I mean, they do give you what when they're trying to pull you.
That's a form of methadone, by the way.
I'm just pointing that out. I'm not saying anything's wrong, Debbie. I'm
I'm
taking a hit too. It's fine.
I'm coming up with solutions I can live with. I just.
But when you feel like social media is getting the best of you, just go to Facebook for a while.
Oh, thanks, Jeffy. That's a great idea.
Take a nap.
Yeah, then I just want to turn it off.
Exactly, you get all annoyed.
Best advice of the day, right after Debbie's stuff. Thank you for that,
She always comes in and just delivers it right at the end. That's a big groan. I love it. I just think that's everything that we had today, and we're coming up on 53 past the hour. So I want to get through everybody real quick. I want to hear Back Crap Crazy, and I want to hear what you guys are up to for the summer. But first, let's do a What's On. You ready for a What's On?
Uh-oh.
I think I'm ready to go with What's On Your feed again, because I got my toes done.
Are we having that?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Wait,
I have to move my chair.
That's Greg Boysaw. Oh, with the tiara. All right, who's up?
Oh, no.
Debbie. Oh,
you know what, you guys? Every time we do What's On the feet, it's the same thing for me. I wear slippers. These are my LL Bean slippers. I live in them.
Jeffy, by the way, he was all barefooting out loud.
I'm barefooted also.
Ooh, look at Jeff. Woo! I like how Heather does her angle. She's like, woo!
Okay.
All right, Larry, you're up. What do you got, brother? Are you bare? Oh, yeah. I love it. And you probably could put lotion on so you don't get ashy, right?
Yes.
Oh dear. All right, you guys ready for some back crap crazy and what your plans are for the summer? I'm going to start with Sheffy because you came in, my brother Luis. What are you back crap crazy about, and what are you going to do this summer, honey?
This summer,
food and booze.
I'm going to spend a lot of time inside because it's 97 today. So
this is your first summer down there, isn't it?
this is our first summer. And as for bat crap crazy, I am bat crap crazy about air conditioning.
Oh. That actually is perfect. All right, Debi Davis, what are you doing this summer, honey? You got some fun plans going on, and what are you back crap crazy about?
I do. We've got the sister invasion where me and 4 of my sisters are going to land at my brother's house in Oregon in July, and we haven't been together for 4 years, so we've got the sister invasion, and then I've got these really cool house sitting gigs. If I ever say I have no internet connection, I'm up in the mountains and I stay at these fabulous homes. Where the internet is not perfect, but that helps with my Google addiction. You know, it sort of forces.
Yeah.
So I will be spending on about 4 or 5 separate occasions up in these beautiful homes up in the mountains where I am surrounded by nothing but gorgeous. It's wonderful.
Oh, and if anybody's ever spent any time in the mountains in the summertime in Colorado, it is the way to be for sure. But you also want to make sure you're not driving on the weekends, right, Debbie?
I plan around the traffic on I-70 going out there. Talk about planning. You want to make sure you plan your trip out to the mountains.
Who's shocked that Debbie just said she planned it?
And don't forget to take your herbs with you.
And my herbs are packed.
All right, my girl Heather, she's crafty. Well, honey, what are you back crap crazy about? What are you doing this summer?
Oh, I'm back crap crazy about game nights at User to User. We're doing Plus Word, which is a form of password, if you remember that game show Password.
So fun. I did watch that the other day. I don't know why he thinks I don't know him, because you guys were hilarious.
I know. That's why I had to tell you. But we're doing that. We also, it's Friday night. Every Friday night we're doing Plus Word, and then he brings on a new game on Sunday nights on occasion. So just check out User to User. It's always listed there. So User to User Live. I'm sure the link is in there somewhere. So. And then that's my back crap crazy because I'm having too much fun on that. And what am I doing this summer? I hope to be camping a whole heck of a lot. That's all I want to do. I want to live in my little tiny trailer. I even posted a picture. It's like a 1968 Terry. I don't even have a toilet, people. I don't care. I am going out to the woods, and if a bear attacks me, I'll be happy. I don't care.
That's a way to go out.
That's exactly right.
Look at you said camping. Greg's like, we've had a joke about that already. Who's going camping? Not him.
Yeah, I know. City folk. You know, it's funny because I'm actually from Phoenix, Arizona, so camping is not something that I've ever normally done, but I love it.
Did you say you posted a picture of it on the event? Because I would love to see your little camper.
Oh, I will afterwards, yep.
Yes, please, I will. All right, and last but not least, my brother from another mother, Larry. What are you back crap crazy about, and what are you going to do this summer, which, your usual?
Just normal thing. The only thing I'm having done in a few months, a friend of mine is supposed to be building me a grill with a smokestack and everything.
Oh.
So when
show around that?
Yeah, when that's done, I will be doing a little something on that.
Okay, so Larry, maybe this is what we can work towards, especially us, Luis, getting down there, all 3 of us, and getting Lisa too, is let's plan on, Larry has to tell us the drop date for the grill, and then we got to get down there for food and booze.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's actually a good plan. Sometimes you have to have a goal to work towards, and so it would be like, T minus how many months.
I should warn you about Trinidadian work ethic. It's because of the weather is so nice. That grill might be finished for the Christmas.
Okay. Right. Like that clock, like you can think the clock that you got, your new app, like the grill app, the grill time app, and then it goes forward and back and forward and back.
Exactly. Like they say, anytime is Trini time.
Yeah, that's I do like that. Well, I'm on Mia time, so I'm on the same thing. Hey, do you ever back crap crazy?
Oh, probably so. Yes. Back crap crazy about getting a hug from Deb the other day. Heather, I'm digging your shirt. I don't know why they don't make stuff like that for guys. I'm glad you guys got the Chef Dennis and Larry, I'm glad you got the memo about the green today. And veggie, of course, I am so infatuated with you and so proud of everything that you're doing. I love
Ooh,
it.
who's going to make me cry? Thank you.
You know, I'm back crap crazy about Steak and Shake. That's my get out of jail free card with you.
Yes. For those of you who are from the Midwest or the South, it is the back crack anytime. I'll tell you a quick story. One of the first times we went through drive-through at Steak and Shake, he had no idea about what my deal was with food because we're ordering, and then I'm like, well, what are you going to get? $20 later of drive-through food. And
yeah, we would need more than $10 worth of quarters for.
If we're on vacation, absolutely, we'd be in trouble. So, all right, guys, that's it. We're closing up at an hour. Thank you, honey. My back crap crazy is definitely summertime. I'm gonna say it, and summertime with this one because we're gonna have a lot of fun this summer, and hopefully, that's his move, by the way. This is what I get to look at all the time. And hopefully we are going to have some time with Sheffy this weekend, or this summer, right? Sheffy?
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
Maybe New York City.
We're going to be having fun.
That's going to be good. All right, guys. I am Mia Voss. That's Greg Boysaw. This is Larry Fournillier. This is Heather Kraafter. That's Debi Davis. And that is, oh, yeah, that's my girl. And that's Chef Dennis. And that's it for the Mia Connect Power Chat Weekend Edition. Bye, guys.
Bye.